Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Coin Knowledge. Today we're going to be taking a look at a tomb fork on the Avalanche network that is actually called Frozen Walrus. And if you guys are a fan of these videos and tomb forks and crypto passive income, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot and I appreciate the support. And otherwise, if you look back at Frozen Walrus, so a big thing I like about Frozen Walrus is that they are actually pegged to the price of USDC, and it is a fairly new protocol. So if you look here with the total value locked being under a million at about that 750,000 for a total value locked, not even a million yet. So I stress that, especially with this protocol, as with all of crypto really as a whole, the risk is huge. And, this is very degen, very high risk. Do not put in anything you're not willing to lose. And as always, do your own research. None of this is financial advice. But if you look at Frozen Walrus, so they are on the Avalanche network, and they do have their three main tokens: Walrus, Walrus Share, and then Walrus Bond, or Walrus W Share, W Bond. And again, being pegged to that USDC price, which is a stable coin, pretty well known, launching in 2022. And if you're curious on where to get your hands on Walrus, you can just hit, purchase or go up here and buy. It'll take you to Trader Joe. You just have to input it, and then Trader Joe will load it here, and you can buy it, with USDC. Or if you earn any of their tokens like Walrus or W Share, you could sell it back into USDC and then put it into whatever coin of your choosing, like AVAX or Joe. And if we look here, what I like about Frozen Walrus is that if you look at their white paper, so if you go on their main page and go to docs, it'll take you to their white paper. They actually do a really good job about educating people. So if you go to their beginner's guide, it'll give you a glossary, about all the different terms used, not only in tomb forks really. I mean, a lot of this is for tomb forks, but just as crypto as a whole, like centralized cryptocurrency, daily APR, DAO, decentralized. It's really cool. And they'll show you glossary, bridges, on how to get your hands on AVAX to move things over to AVAX, so you can, then get into the protocol and how to add, that Avalanche C chain to your MetaMask, how to add to liquidity pools. But the biggest thing I like is that they give you a simplified overview of what a tomb fork is. So again, with their three tokens and two main ways. Well, the two popular ways that people like to use these tomb forks is that the boardroom or the farms. And again, Frozen Walrus being pegged to USDC, as all tomb forks and tomb, they all have a coin that are pegged to. Now, when you look on the main page, they call it a TWAP, or a time weighted average price, I believe, or peg. You want the price of Walrus to stay above the price of USDC. That is critical within these tomb forks. And if it falls below, that's also not a giant red flag. These protocols are designed to eventually fall below, but they have mechanisms to help you get back above peg. So with Walrus, you can see that we are at 1.67 for a price of Walrus, and because it's a stable coin, that's our peg right there. Our TWAP is at 1.67, so well over. So if we look here across the way, we can go to their farms. So they do have their farms. Their Genesis pools have ended, but within their farms, you can actually take Walrus and USDC LP. You can, combine them and add liquidity, and you can put it in these farms to get, a high APR. And if you compound, it can even be a higher APY, currently. And these values will change, just for the Walrus and Walrus USDC LP, you're getting about 2.42 daily APR a day right now at the time of this recording. And again, whenever you do put into these farms like this one, you will earn that W share. So, and they are planning on adding to this in the future as protocol as a whole, but more options. So you have Walrus USD, which will earn you W share, and then you can put W share and USDC together to earn even more W share. And what you do with that W share, the Walrus share, is that you can go to their boardroom and you can stake your W share and earn back Walrus. Now, keep a note that the boardroom only prints Walrus from staked W share, when the TWAP or the peg is over 1 to 1. So because we're at 1.6, it will print you, if you have W share in here, it'll give you Walrus back. But if we were at, let's say, a 0.9 TWAP or 0.9 peg, it would not. You would have to wait. And again, the APRs are pretty high right now just because it is a newly released protocol. They're only on their 47th epoch if you take a look. And if you look here, something different that Walrus or Frozen Walrus is doing is that if you see, this is kind of, again, back in their white paper looking at the boardroom mechanics here. So deposits and withdrawals of W share from and in the boardroom will lock your W share for 4 epochs. And each epoch is 6 hours long. And your Walrus rewards for 2 epochs, so 12 hours. Just keep a note if you're wanting to put your Walrus share in and then unstake it. Read the white paper, look at what times you're looking at, and the distribution rates. Now, this is with Frozen Walrus. They do have a dynamic inflation of Walrus in the boardroom. So they do have a sliding scale based on the TWAP for inflation percentage per epoch. So at a 1-to-1 TWAP, they will inflate at 1%, and at a 3% TWAP or 3 TWAP or more Walrus, which would mean Walrus is at $3 or more, we will reach a max expansion, which can be viewed in the table below. So we'll take a look at that. And this is just for, sustainability. And this is what Frozen Walrus is taking the time to go ahead and try to get ahead of. So if you see here, the bootstrap phase. So epoch expansion, the first 20 epochs will be the bootstrap phase. So again, if you look at that epoch, we're over that. We're at 47. So that's okay. So that's why they had a rate of 4% no matter what the price was. But that's fine. But after the bootstrap phase, current expansion cap based on Walrus supply. If there are bonds to be redeemed, 65% of minted Walrus will go to the treasury. And you can look at the table here. So total circulating supply. So based on what supply we're at, you can see the percentage right here. So something to keep in note of. And if we look at the next tab, the bonds. So within Frozen Walrus and these Tomb Forks, is they typically have a bond page just like this where you would use your Walrus. If we fall below TWAP, below peg, so again that like 0.9, if the price of Walrus went down a little bit and became too inflationary, you would go into the bonds, and what you would do for your part to help us get over peg is that you would use your Walrus and burn your Walrus, getting these Walrus bonds, these W bonds, to reduce the amount of Walrus in circulation, helping bring the price up, thus bringing the peg back. And then once we're over peg, you can redeem your B bonds at a premium here. So that's the bond page in here. And again, guys, if you have any questions, go into the white paper. They go over all the protocols information, like bonds, taxes, boardroom, rebates, the roadmap, which we'll look at here in a little bit. But that is a bond page. And then they do have this Walrus DAO where you can bond your assets here. So you can bond like wrapped AVAX and earn Walrus, USDC, different liquidity pairs. So you can bond your assets here and earn Walrus back. And then if we go to Compound, they do have their auto compounders that are hosted on magic.farm, an auto compounder website. So if you don't want to, go in here and take the time to compound every day your farms, you can use magic.farm, an auto compounder, and you can go in here and put your Walrus USDC and put it in here, and it will auto compound for you. So they do have an auto compound option with magic.farm. If we look at their roadmap for Frozen Walrus, you can see here, let's see, I guess that's not going to load, but Q2, they just listed in Q2 of 2022, very recent. So they do have a couple things they've checked off already for their auto compounders, magic.finance. They do plan on going to Yield Wolf for another auto compound option, which, some people have the preference on who they're going to auto compound with. That's fine. They are going to have a UI redesign, hopefully here soon, DeFi Llama listing, and then they will bring LP nodes and multi-peg same share. If we scroll down to Q3, they are planning on having an NFT collection, a VE Walrus, which I believe is going to be like a boosted walrus, but time will tell when that releases. And then a native auto compounder within their own protocol, a merch store. So if you want to maybe have a walrus on your head or walrus on your chest, something to keep note of. Maybe walrus sunglasses. I might rock them. We'll see. And then educational video series. I think that's going to be very useful for a lot of people just getting into either DeFi as a whole, or especially more specifically these tomb forks, having that extra education. That would be very useful, especially to have it within your own protocol. And then Q4, cross-chain walrus trading card game. So like a play-to-earn game, it sounds like. And then more partnerships, Launchpad, slot casino, and then we look into 2023. But that is our roadmap. So again, time will only tell with projects and their roadmaps if they deliver or not. But we can see just over reviewing it, the total value locked is already going up. And again, this project is very new, very early. People are seeming to flock to it right now just because, especially with these tomb forks, as with a lot of things, if you can get in early, the opportunity is there to make a lot of money, but there to lose it as well. So keep a note of that. But anyways, guys, that is a general overview of Frozen Walrus, a tomb fork over on the Avalanche network that is pegged to a stablecoin, USDC. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this project, or if there's other projects I should review. Let me know, and I'll do some research on them, and I might make a video on them. And if you can like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. Your support means a lot, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.